All right, guys. So at Summer Duck for Truck Wars, you probably saw the video where the truck went out and it went out about 60 feet, maybe 100 feet, and had a big pop. We thought we were running out of fuel, that the fuel was sloshing to the back of the tank and it was losing pickup. But after sending the logs to Trevor, we determined that basically it was losing crank signal. So let me switch this thing around. All right, so basically what we did, or what I did, was I went ahead and pulled the truck apart. I pulled the intake off because all the wiring is behind the intake for the cam and crank sensors, because this is a 24X 1X engine. It's actually an LS2 block, and when I ordered the harness for a 24X 1X, and I should have ordered it for a 58X 4X, I think, or something like that. Anyway, because Holley does not make a harness that fits the way everything is lined out on this engine, if that makes sense. But anyway, basically I pulled the crank sensor out. I verified that the reluctor wheel was not loose, and it's not. I've got new sensors coming. I've already put a new cam sensor in it. I'm also going to remove the factory fuel tank. This was running a factory fuel tank with two Walboro 525s in the fuel tank, and then I had a 750 Magna Fuel that was coming on at the release of the trans brake button, and then I had Motion Raceworks sump. But you can see that the sump is I guess that would be about 3/4 of the way back of the fuel tank. And I always have to keep this tank full, and it holds about 18 gallons of fuel. So that's roughly around 530 pounds. So what I'm gonna do is put a fuel cell in it. I've already got the fuel cell over here. I'm gonna go ahead and get that installed. I'm thinking I'm probably gonna move the ice box, and also I've got some Caltrack sliders I'm going to go ahead and install. I tried to see if there was anybody on YouTube that had installed them on a Colorado. I saw one where they had installed them in a 2-wheel drive, and they really didn't show how they did it. So I'm going to show you guys what I'm going to do. Basically, I took a measurement while it was on the ground at ride height, and I've got that on the board over here, so that way when I cut all of this loose, I can put it back to the way it's supposed to be, because I like the ride height where it was at before. So if you notice the shackle, there's probably about 5 inches here. So if we were to just cut this off and weld the slider to that, then that's gonna, I think that would actually, that would push it up. I think that would raise the ride height, or it would lower the ride height. Not sure, but anyway, what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna build some 3/8 plates and make it so I can actually unbolt and slide the slider back if I need to, or move it forward, but have it at the same height as this, if that makes sense. I'm also going to remove this plate here that held the spare tire. So that's what I'm going to do now. I got the plasma cutter out here. I'm going to go ahead and start cutting that, and we'll bring you back. All right, guys, got a little progress. Got everything cut out. Got the frame rails prepped. I did torch the harness a little bit, so I gotta fix that, but not too bad. Now I'm just gonna basically get some boxes. I think I'm gonna do like a 1/4 inch plate and make them out of that, but I think I'm gonna stop here.
All right, so as you can see, Dad's already got the fuel tank mounted up. I believe this is a 15 or 10 gallon tank. And then underneath, he's already got the sliders on the leaf springs, and then we're gonna work on getting the frame cleaned up, get it up in the air, and we'll go ahead and make the boxes. And that's pretty much it for that. Little sneak peek over here of the power adder for the S10. Jonathan is home now, so we should see him sometime this weekend, so we can go ahead and get everything we need done to the S10. Alright guys, so I'm editing the video and I'm realizing I am missing a few clips that it took a picture instead of a video. I did get a new gimbal and I'm trying to learn how to use that, so I'm gonna try to get that straight. That's completely my fault. Also, I know you're hearing the whining noise. That is from the gimbal also. So the clips that I am missing, basically we were going over the Colorado of the shocks. We looked up underneath the truck and saw that the top, like the O-rings where the stem comes down through the body, they were like broken up and busted. We think that the shocks aren't the right lengths because there's only like an inch of stem coming out. So Dad's emailing Trick and he's asking them what's going on, or how to fix that situation, because it did damage the shocks. So, but yeah, sorry for the inconvenience. I hope you enjoy the rest of the video, and I'll see you at the end of it. Alright guys, so we got it squared up and centered up as much as we could with our whatever measuring devices we got. So the whole point of the slider is so when the rear end separates, when you launch it, you want the rear end to push up. Basically, you want the body to go up, the rear end to go down. Well, when it does that, your leaf springs with these sliders, it will slide forward. So what we're gonna do now is get everything fully welded in and then go from there. But this should help out remarkable. We did look at the shocks again at ride height, and they definitely either sent us the wrong shocks or didn't understand what we were trying to accomplish, which is all good. So we think we're gonna order the same ones that are on the S10, or email Alex again and tell him what's going on, and go from there. So let's get this thing fully welded in and see how it does.
Guys, this is what we ended up with. So this is a 2 by 4 inch tubing. It's 3/16 inches thick. I believe that's plenty thick enough, and it puts us at the right ride height that was at before. So everything's free moving. So hopefully this will work. I'll go ahead and set it on the ground here in a second and we'll take a look at it. But before I do that, I gotta fix some wiring that I torched with the plasma cutter. And then I'll bring you guys back. All right, I think it's wrapped up for now. Everything's painted up. Got it, like I said, we welded everything in. Got all the wiring fixed. So all that's good to go. Back to where it was. That little pigtail, that was actually for the charcoal canister, so don't need that anymore. But getting a little closer. It's I'm gonna have to get with Alex on the shocks because the rear shocks are definitely not right. So I think the ones that are on the S10 might actually work because the body of those is, I think, 11 inches, and these were like 12 and a quarter. But I'll get with him and try to figure it out. That's what it turned out to be. I'll sit it on the ground here in a second and we'll take a look at it. All right, it's at ride height now. From the floor to the bottom of the fender flare is 32 3/4. And when I first started, I measured everything and we had 32 1/4. So I gained a 1/2 inch, which isn't bad. I mean, I'd like for it to be a little bit lower in the back end, but it's actually going to give me a little more room for, I think, a better shock maybe. But that's where it's at now. I got 80 pounds sandbag in here just to simulate fuel and water. But I think it turned out pretty good. So hopefully it works.
Alright guys, hope y'all enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, hit the bell if we have that option. I don't know, I haven't looked yet, but like and subscribe, comment down below what y'all think, and we'll see you on the next one.